Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Evolving Women. I'm Teresa Lysam here with my delightful guest co host today, Lin Bruce. Welcome, Lynn. So glad you're here.
Me too. Me too. Thanks.
We all appreciate you taking your time to share your story with us. And your story is one of being a wife, being a mom, having four children. You were a massage therapist for a very long time.
Right. Right.
And then things just changed. There was maybe you made some different choices, stepped into an opportunity, and I'd love for you to share that with us.
Oh, thanks. I really want to because I want people to know that it's possible. Whatever your it is possible.
Mhm.
I when I was 59 and 10 months old, I realized my birthday was going to come up in a couple of months and I was going to be 60. That seemed at that time, it seemed like 60 was going to be really old. And now, right now, I am 87, so I have a very different perspective. But
Yes, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you
at that
do.
time, I thought it was, and that life was just going to go downhill. I was going to be in the
Mhm.
bog and disappear, actually disappear. Things were
Mm.
feeling really flat and
Oh.
beige, and as though I was disappearing.
Mm.
Didn't make much sense. I had a good home. My massage therapy business was thriving. I was well respected in a time when I had started. I've been working for probably about 10 years by that time. But when I started in the mid 80s, because I started massage in the mid 80s and I live in Minnesota in the Midwest. And when it was said that when I said I was going to go become a massage therapist, my friends were just, oh, going to
I
be a
bet.
prostitute. They actually thought that.
Oh, my God.
So I had outlived that. I was doing really well, but things were feeling really, really, really flat, really flat. I had grown up kids. They were doing well. Bob and I had come through an awful uh, marriage breakup and we'd come back together and things seemed looked really good on the outside. Didn't feel good on the inside. So I had an appointment at the dentist and I had to wait all day. I am not a patient waiter. I'd read all the magazines. There was just one left. The room was kind of dark. It just had gotten, it was not, I was feeling just like the room, flat, confined,
Mm.
dingy.
Mm.
And I started at the back on the last magazine. I started at the back, and that's where those little ads are, the little black and white ones.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I was desperate, and I read this ad, and it just jumped out because this is what it said: cross-country bicycle trip for women over 50, starting on March 13th. Now, I forgot to tell you that my birthday is on March 13th.
Oh,
So this
wow.
was going to start on my 60th birthday. Surely this had to be my birthday celebration and
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
my my message from my message and my opportunity. So I signed
Yeah.
up. I signed up right away. I'd never been on a long bike trip before. I rode my bike around town, that which is about 8 miles around town was the max. And I was signing up to ride from California to Florida, 3,000 plus miles
Wow.
over 60 days with 26 other women, all of us over 50. None of them had ever been on a long bike trip either, and we didn't know each other, which turned
Mm.
out to be a real advantage because, and this was before cell phones and texts and
Mm-hmm,
those things.
mm-hmm.
We were very reliant on getting to know each other and becoming a group. I mean, but that was not our intent, certainly, as we
Yeah, yeah.
started. But that's the way it worked out. So I did this trip. with lots of, I had signed up really quickly with joy at
Mm-hmm.
being rescued from flat.
Yeah.
And then I thought, what have I signed? What have I done? Can I possibly do this? What am I thinking of? Riding across the United States? Oh,
Really? Reality set in.
the reality set in, and I was scared. I was really scared, and I trained. I thought I was training. I was riding 10 miles a day. And when we started the trip, our first day, our usual day was 60 miles a day. So I
Mm.
had a long ways to go. And I did, with hard work and being scared and determination and commitment.
Mm.
You have to, well, what I learned on I'll back up just a little bit and tell you that I did that trip, and now I've done about 35,000 bike trip miles, not the training,
Wow.
but the trip miles, and some really long ones. And I always start out scared,
Mm.
and I just do one day at a time, because I've learned that when I do one increment at a time, it moves me on, very literally for me, it moves me on down my road with my bicycle to the
Mm-hmm.
destination.
Right.
And I think that, as a metaphor, that moves you in your life, the little bits at
Mm-hmm.
a time.
Wow.
So 60 days later, we got to the coast of Florida, dipped our front tires in the Atlantic, had dipped our back tires in California when we left.
Cool.
Nice ritual, very
Yeah,
nice
for sure. I
ritual.
love that.
And it was so exciting. I thought, wow, what we have done is amazing. Who would have thought it? We had been told at the beginning of the trip that this trip will change your life. And we all thought,
Right. Right. Again now.
right, yeah. So that crossed my mind at that time. And I thought, it's been a great trip. I haven't changed at all.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime later, maybe even a couple of years later, I asked our oldest son, who's a very perceptive man, have I changed at all since I started doing these bike trips? And he thought and said, have a greater sense of, and he was right on. I do have a greater sense of possibility that I can
Mm.
take things on in my life, that I can commit to something and see it through one bit at a time, that it expands who I am and expands the joy I have in my living. That's not to say I'm uh, uh, not filled with joy every day that I'm writing,
Mm-hmm.
because it can be very hard work, really, but the satisfaction of completing one day,
Mm.
and then they all add up, and you get to where you're going, is just such a high uh, point of satisfaction for me, that
Mm-hmm.
that's right. So I learned a tremendous amount out of my trips. One was that I was scared when I started, and I did it anyway. And
Yeah.
I had a chance to speak at a Wyoming. I'm originally from the state of Wyoming, and I've gotten to ride their state bike ride. A lot of states have a state bike ride. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I was invited to be a speaker one night. And I talked to the group, and I told them that how I'd happened to sign up and how I hadn't ridden very far, and I hadn't ever done anything like that, and I didn't know anybody else, and I was really scared, and that I cried, and that I went anyway. And the next day, I was making my way up a hill on a bike, and a woman came zipping by. She looked over her shoulder. She made a U-turn, said, "You're that lady who talked last night?" She said, "I want to tell you a story. I called my son, who's 12. That's Henry. He's in Denver. He's signed up to go to camp tomorrow.
Mm.
Well, but he said he's not going. He doesn't know anybody. He's never been to camp. He's too scared." Henry started to cry. The lady told him, "I just heard this woman who is 60 years old." Well, no, now she's about 68 years old. And she was going to take a ride all the way across the United States. And she was really scared, and she didn't know
Mm.
anybody. She'd never done that. And she went anyway. And then the lady talking to me said, she heard Henry sniffle and said, "I'll think about it." And he hung up. So
Oh.
the next day, she came by again on her bike and said, stopped. Want to tell you what happened. I called Henry last night. He was at camp.
Oh.
He said, "I figured if that old lady was scared and she cried and she didn't know anybody and she went anyway, if she could do that when then she was that old, I could go to camp."
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh wow.
so that's why I want to tell my story, not so you can go to camp.
Right.
But
So
the
like you
point
said,
is,
so you can do whatever it is for
that's
each of
right.
us.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I like
right.
got a
Yeah.
little emotional on that. That is such an awesome story.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Had to pull out the old card though, like
Yeah, oh, of course. Well, to him, to a 12-year-old,
oh,
60s.
I'm sure. Oh, yes, yes. Like you said, every time we reach a certain age, our perspective changes.
That's right.
When
It
we pass
does.
that age, our perspective changes. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
all
that's
it's
very
all
true.
relative for sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Mm.
Yeah, so now I still am riding my bike, and actually I get to go on a bike, commercial bike trip for 2 weeks in September of 2026 this year.
Okay. Yeah.
And the trip will be different, shorter days, different terrain, and I am so glad I get to go.
Mm.
It feeds my, I didn't would never have thought to name it this way, but my passion. My
Oh.
passion is riding my, well, I'm broader than riding my bike, but
Yeah. That's
that's
one
certainly,
passion.
that is,
One
yes,
passion.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And I'm very different. I have physical differences now
Yeah.
than when I rode that first ride. I have a modified gearing system on my bicycle because one left hand hurts if I try to shift gears. So I have
Mm.
something that doesn't require that. I have a step through bike. They used to call those girls' bike in the
Yeah.
olden
Yeah.
days. I have a step through so that I can get on. And I will keep riding as long as I can. And when I can't, I will figure out something different or a different model bicycle.
Right, right. I love
There
that.
are options. So
I love that you are making it work for you at this point in your life.
that's right. Yeah,
Like you're not using it as an excuse.
that's
Well, my
right.
hand doesn't work or my hand hurts. Like that's not an excuse. You're just making some changes and doing what you can around that to accommodate that.
That's right.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes. And I have what I want when I get a chance to talk to people. I I think I'm an example, and part of my example is that and this is not diminishing myself at all because I don't think that's a good idea. And we women particularly should not
Mhm.
diminish ourselves.
Right. Amen.
Yeah. I am ordinary in which is great as an example, and which is great, period. And what I mean by that is I am not a an athlete who is coached outside or who makes that the biggest priority in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's that I have that found this thing that I love to do, and I'm doing it out of my own, and that you can do that, whatever it is for you, whether
Right.
it's, roller skating across the, who knows, who
Yeah,
knows,
right.
or
That would be interesting.
yeah, or finishing your grandma's quilt that's been in the trunk
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah,
years and
yeah.
years. Whatever it is, that's you get to do that. But staying engaged, staying active as an older person is just ah,
It's important.
it is. And I think I don't they're not science. I don't have my own science for this because I don't have a comparison, but I think I
Mm-hmm.
am healthy because of my
Mm-hmm.
activity
Oh, heck
and
yeah. Yeah.
my uh, zest in having this to do. And I'm not a perpetually happy person. I mean,
Mm.
I'm like, I think all of us have these ups,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
this kind of oscillating
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff in our lives. But
Mm-hmm.
if you can be active in some way and interacting with others in some way, you have a way better chance of a life that pleases you.
Oh, heck yeah. Did you stay in contact with that original group on that first trip?
That is
No?
very interesting. No, we didn't.
No. Oh,
No,
wow.
well, slightly modified. There were two short trips in Europe that were organized by one of the women who had been on that. But as far as communicating regularly, no, it was as though we were riding in a bubble. We
Mm-hmm.
were an
Mm-hmm.
insulated
Yes.
this group moving across the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where our connection was.
Mm-hmm.
And it has not been that we are unfriendly outside of it. None of us lived close to each other. It is this sort of specialized connection.
No, yeah, I
It's
totally
precious,
understand
but
that.
that's where it exists.
Yeah.
So yours is a good question.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I got to go to Italy once. My husband was there for his reserve 2 weeks that he had to do every year. And so I finally went one year. A group of us met up and we went over there like wives, girlfriends. I think there was a few kids in there. And it was the same thing. For the time we were there, we supported each other. We were we were friends. We were a cohesive family. And then we did try to maintain connection after we got back, and we did for a little bit, but then, like you said, we just kind of did our own things, and
Yeah,
it was just for that particular experience
yeah,
that we all were together in that shared experience.
yeah,
And it was only temporary. That's all it needed to be.
yeah,
So I guess relationships don't have to be long term. They could serve their purpose in
yeah.
that particular moment in time, and everybody benefits from it. And then you move on to the next set of friends or set of
Right,
people.
right. Yeah, I'm glad you are speaking about that because I'm realizing it's so specific. It's not shallow.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a
Oh, yes.
there's a depth of connection.
Yes, yes,
So yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
And just, I guess, having an awareness, that's okay. That's just,
Yeah.
we have so many things happening during our lifetime. Not everything can be really long term. Not every relationship can be long term.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's, you bless it, be grateful for those friends and that experience and that bubble, and then it's time to move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
that's very special. I just love, love, love that you were scared and you did it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Because sometimes people get scared. I know for myself, I've done that. and I didn't take that next step. I
Yep.
let that fear keep me safe and keep me away from something I really wanted to do. And of course, I had regrets after that.
Right.
But
Yes.
we let that fear dictate what we want to experience.
Right. And I will tell you that in that first trip across from California to Florida, we were very strongly urged by the company to ride every single mile. And some people were on their own raising money for cancer research, breast cancer research. I was
Mm-hmm.
not. I was just riding. But we were really, and in fact, to the point that it was, how many people rode all the miles today? Oh, no, I
Okay.
didn't. So I wanted to be one of those who rode all the miles. About the third day out, we were still in California. I can't tell you exactly where, but that morning, the leaders told us the conditions in this, we're going to be going down a well-paved canyon, wide shoulders. It's the main highway. There's lots of big trucks on this, and there's a
Mm.
very high velocity crosswind. So
Oh
just be
boy.
careful, just be aware of it,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be
yeah.
careful. And I was beside two women who I learned, I didn't know it at the time, but by the end of the trip, I realized they were always very anxious about wind.
Mm.
So this really scared them, and they started talking about, oh my gosh, the bicycles would be so vulnerable. All they'd have to
Mm.
do is get caught by a gust and
Yeah,
blown
yeah.
into the traffic, and those big trucks couldn't stop fast. And
Mm-hmm.
so or we got to figure out some other way. Let's see if we can ride in the sag wagon. Now, I don't know if you know the term sag. It means support and gear.
Mm-hmm.
So we did. We did. We rode in they because they were so convincing, and I was right there,
Mm.
and I was new, and so I thought
Mm-hmm.
I'm in danger too. I better not try to
Mm-hmm.
ride. So we had the SAG person put our bikes on top of the vehicle. We got in, we were driven in a car down to the bottom of those 5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the only 5 miles I did not ride.
Oh, wow. Good for
And
you.
what I learned out of that is to watch where you are. And I don't mean on the road, but I mean watch where you are with people who are influencing you. I guess I'd
Mm,
even put it
yes.
that
Yes.
broadly,
Yeah.
that it's very fear can be contagious.
Oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
certainly can.
yeah.
It
And
certainly can.
so I don't, I'm never going to know how I would have done on those 5 miles. And
Mm-hmm.
but it was a big lesson. It was a big
Yeah,
lesson.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you could have been fine, but they
Hmm.
went right to the worst case
Yeah.
scenario that they could
Yeah.
have possibly gone to in their heads.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
So big learning thing. Big learning. Yeah.
And you
Right.
said you didn't change. That's so interesting too, that you didn't think that experience changed you.
Right.
Maybe because it was so subtle and you can't see the forest because of the trees. Is that how the
Right.
saying goes?
Yeah.
And
Right.
so it wasn't clear to you that the change had taken place. Somebody
That's
outside
right.
you had to bring you to that awareness.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's probably true for all of us. We are changing every day, moment by moment, for the most part. We just don't realize it until somebody points it out to us.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And another way that I have changed, I have to remind myself sometimes is when I signed up for this, I talked with Bob, that's my husband, for 67 years at the end of this
Mm,
month.
I applaud you for that.
I talked with Bob about it, and he was very, very supportive. But I didn't tell anybody else because I was afraid that they would judge me as
Mm,
selfish
mm,
because I was going to spend all that time and all that money on just me,
yeah, yeah.
and that I wasn't taking other people's convenience into account.
Wow.
And I told my massage clients about 2 weeks before I left, and I had two different kinds of responses. Majority were, good for you, Lynn. That's great. Good for you. What a
Mhm.
way to celebrate your birthday. What a way to
Yeah.
celebrate you. And the others were, what? You're going off and leaving me? How could you do that? So, so that was the kind of judgment and that I was afraid of. That I didn't
Yeah.
want to. I didn't want to have to stand in front of that.
Right, right. I
So
know
I,
that
I didn't.
judgment can keep us from doing things as
That's
you
right.
just spoke
Yeah.
about.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And my mother-in-law was still alive at the time. Very, very sweet and kind lady who said, "That's very nice, dear, but isn't it a bit, what was her word? Oh, isn't it a bit excessive?"
Interesting. Like too extreme, maybe, like
Right,
an
right,
extreme activity for
right.
somebody who hasn't done it prior to
That's right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And I
So,
guess we have to remember that people that are saying those things and judging and um, giving their opinions, they're coming at it from their point of view.
right.
And so we're getting what their opinions are because they wouldn't do it because they're being held back by whatever. But
Yeah,
yet we do tend to take those on and
yeah,
listen to those and
right.
they might change our choices.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we do that sometimes unconsciously without even realizing it.
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So something to be aware of for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Mhm. And I want to come back to your one day at a time mantra or philosophy. I
Yep.
just love that because if you saw that whole endeavor, what was it, 60 days?
Yes.
That whole endeavor as a big chunk, yes, that's overwhelming. Oh my God, like, can I do it? And look at how much time and but then if you bring your focus down to one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, whatever you need to do, and you just go at it from that perspective, and then that big old 60-day
Right.
thing is done.
Right. Right. And that on a smaller scale, it's when there's a big hill to pedal up.
Mm-hmm.
I uh if I look at the top and I think, oh my gosh, look
Yeah.
how far
Yeah.
up that is. I
Yes.
can't.
Yes.
So I pick a something along the way and I pedal to that. And then I say, "Yay, Lynn, look what you've done." Then I
Yes.
pick the next one and I keep doing that until I get to the top. And by breaking it down just exactly as you have
Mm-hmm.
just said, by breaking it down into little bits, I make that hill. I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that. And I've done that too. I love to bike ride as well. I have not done that to that much, the extent that you have at all. But you're right, just that little, whether you're walking or bike riding or whatever it is you're doing, just focus on one little thing, get there, celebrate, and then go to the next one. So, like you said, you just keep your head down and you just keep on going.
That's right.
But I love that you talked about celebrating yourself. We as women don't do that enough.
That's right. 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 Yeah.
And sometimes it is up to us to do it for ourselves.
I think so. Yes.
Hmm.
And with this hill example, I'm usually by myself. I mostly ride by myself, even with a group. I ride by
Hmm.
myself.
Hmm.
So I can get to that spot and that I yell, "Yay!" I mean,
I
well, I
love
don't
it.
let
I
go,
love
but
it.
I yell.
That's awesome.
I'm really loud in celebrating because I'm not a loud celebrator in my usual life.
Right, right. Because as an adult, we
That's
got
right.
to kind of put a lid on it and tamper it down a little bit.
That's right. Yeah,
So
right.
I love that you give yourself permission to celebrate those little accomplishments to
Yeah,
get you up to the top of that
yeah,
hill.
yeah, yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good piece of wisdom for everybody listening.
yeah. I want to tell you about I want to tell you this story.
Please.
Two times I have ridden, I live in Minnesota. I graduated from high school in Wyoming. And for two high school reunions, I have ridden my bicycle there. My husband has been the sag. He's have been
Okay.
in the car.
I love that.
And that was for my 50th reunion and then my 60th reunion. So I was going to go to my 60th reunion, and by this time I was talking out loud in my town about what I was doing. And
Okay,
so
good for you.
yeah, I was I live in Northfield, Minnesota. It's still a town. Still has a downtown. And I was downtown walking, and I saw a car pull in and park, and this driver got out, and he was a guy, and I recognized him as a classmate of one of my
Okay.
kids. And he yelled out, he said, "Is it true? My mom told me you were going to ride all the way from here to Cheyenne, Wyoming for your high school reunion, 60th. Is that true?" And I stopped. I said, "Yeah, it's true. It's true. All the way. I'm going to ride." And there'd been a lady walking across along the street, and she kind of slowed down. I knew she was listening to what was going on. And she walked on down the street, and I talked with this guy for a few minutes, and then he left, and I went on down. I went on down the street,
Hmm.
and she was down there sitting on a bench. And she said, "Oh, I hope you'll excuse me. I was eavesdropping. My name is Nadine, and I was listening to what was being said. For years and years, I was in an abusive relationship, and finally, recently, I left because I knew my life was in danger.
Mm.
And what they've been telling us is it's not over till it's over." And I thought that she had been so profound out of her pain and out
Mm.
of her attempt to her, and I wish her well for her own personal healing in saying it's not over till it's over.
Mm.
Whether it's riding your bicycle or moving on to something that's safe, if it's that big in your life, or whatever it is, whether you're trying to perfect gluten-free pie crust, which is very hard because I have a husband who's gluten-free, and pie crust is nearly impossible. I'm not to make light of this, what she was going through and what she
Right,
shared with
right.
me. It is such an important thing for me to remember that, I don't know what the ending is for me, but it's not
Hmm.
over.
I
I'm
love
not
that.
over.
I love that. I'm not over. What a
Yeah,
great thing to tell
yeah,
ourselves
yeah.
on those
I thank
hard
you.
days
Yeah, right.
and whatever
Yeah,
we happen to be going through.
yeah.
Again, any point in time.
Yes, right. It
Wow.
matches. Biking is such a metaphor. You can make all kinds of parallels.
As they've done with baseball and other
Oh, I
things,
suppose, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
macro, micro, there's that whole connection there.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
applaud you for breaking age stereotypes. Like you said, it's not over till it's over. And, it doesn't matter what your age is. If you want to do something, do it, even if it's a smaller version of it,
That's
even if
right.
it seems ridiculous and minor to somebody else.
That's right.
It doesn't matter.
That's
It's
right.
what you want and what would feel satisfying and like a win to you.
Yeah, right. Yes. And you do modify, and you do, and we all have things we didn't expect. Maybe it's a monetary something or other, or
Right, right, right.
someone is ill and you need to be looking out for them, or
Yeah.
you're not as able as you were. Whatever it
Hmm.
is, what little pieces still exist of that dream or that back burner interest.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and how can you take those and make the best of them now and
Mhm.
not just wipe away the whole thing as it's too late. It's too
Yes,
late because I'm
exactly.
too old or I'm too heavy or
Hmm, hmm.
no, 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 no. No, please, please take those little pieces and do them.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love it because it's not over till it's over.
that's
It's not
right.
over till the fat lady sings, as they
That's
used
right.
to say, which will
Yeah.
be a phrase that some people watching will have no clue what that means.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
aging
yeah,
myself for sure. Such
yeah.
words of wisdom. I am so grateful and love what you've shared with us. I said you were
Thank you.
so inspiring to
Thank
women
you.
anywhere of any age, again, deciding to do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah.
Can people reach out to you if they want to and connect with you and maybe
Yes.
share their story with you? I don't know.
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite thing after I've given a talk. Somebody will come and say, I'm taking yoga teacher training and I'm 55 years old. Do you think
Oh.
I'm too old? Or,
Mhm.
many,
Yeah,
many
whatever.
things.
Hmm.
Yes, I have I don't this says yes, I think I can.com.
Oh, great. I love it.
That's my website. And
Mm.
you can reach me through that. You can, here's another, yes, I think I can, numeral two at gmail.com. Maybe you could put that in your
Yes, we'll put that in
something.
our show notes for
Right.
sure. Yes.
And I have a weekly post that tells metaphors of bike riding and living life. And that's just called Lin's Bike Notes. So, and it's Lin, and uh, my mother was very succinct, needed to be really simple. Little
I
did she
love
know
that.
that or did she think about it that Lin spelled that way rhymes with win spelled.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, that's perfect.
Yes,
My
please be in
goodness.
touch.
Yes, as
Be
like I
in
said, we
touch.
will we will include those links, that
Thank you.
information for
Thank
anybody
you.
who wants to reach out to you. And
Please.
again, I want to thank you so much. This has been really inspiring for me. I just love your story and I love the wisdom that you've shared.
Thank
So
you.
I am going to put up my little sign that reminds me to say all this stuff, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And if
Yes.
you have a thought, if you want to leave a comment about what you heard here today, please do that. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And if this episode has been an inspiration for you and you feel others could benefit from it, please share it with them. We could just keep this ripple effect going and breaking those age stereotypes and inspiring other women to do their thing, whatever their
Yes.
thing is.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, Lynn. So appreciate you.
Oh,
And
thank you.
thank you to everybody listening in. And we will see you on another episode of Evolving Women. Bye bye.